You're listening to Side by Side with Kathy Wilson, episode 21, When It All Goes Right. Kathy, can't you understand that this idea of yours is just too risky? Once again, Ralph was pouring cold water on my plans. He just couldn't see beyond his own fears. I secretly harbored enough anxiety for us both, but why dwell on it? You've never been in this part of St. Catherine's before, and you are going to a church where no one knows you. Hickory could very well make strange. You could get lost. Why don't you stay home and hook a rug you are working on? You could bake some cookies or a pie for dinner. Frogs and toenails, Ralph. The next thing you know, you'll have me barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen, and it would serve you right. I have planned on attending this bazaar and know which bus I have to take. No one is going to give Hickory or me a hard time, other than you. I'll make you a batch of chocolate chip cookies when I get home. With this promise, Hickory and I left the house, and a few minutes later we were at the bus stop, waiting for the next bus. These Ralph-made barriers weren't getting any better. In fact, they were increasing, and my patience was dwindling. Okay, we'll tackle things one problem at a time. I squared my shoulders and entered the bus, which had just come to a stop in front of us. "Hi, Kathy, this is a cold morning. Nothing in my pockets today, Hickory." This was the driver who kept snacks in his pockets. Imagine how embarrassed I felt the day that my dear thief had adroitly removed a chocolate bar from his pocket. I quickly took it back, but I couldn't blame the driver when he said he didn't like that kind anyway. Hickory could keep it. Chocolate is a definite negative where dogs are concerned, and teeth marks in the chocolate no doubt lessen the appeal for our driver. Have you given up treats, or have you found a better place to hide them? My wife says that Hickory was just telling me that junk like that would only make me fat and that I should eat a carrot stick. I certainly understood how inadequate this suggestion was. I asked our driver which bus would take us to Memorial Church, and he was able to give me the number of the bus and the platform where it was parked. With this information, we located the bus we needed, and we were set down less than a block from where the Christmas bazaar was just getting started. I really like bazaars, and my girl loves going anywhere there are lots of people. If there is noise, excitement, and delicious smells, then it just can't get any better. Needless to say, the hall was crowded with people seeking a bargain or handcrafted gifts, a cup of coffee or something delicious from the bake table. Knowing my dear girl as well as I did, it was certain that she was bake table bound. I was not disappointed as the glorious array of cookies, pies, cakes, and buns appeared before me. Oh, wow! How will I choose from all this? Everything smells like I should buy two. Then an idea came to my mind. Did I not promise Ralph that I would bake some chocolate chip cookies when we got home? I'll just buy them here. This way Ralph gets his cookies and I can support this bazaar. Do you have chocolate chip cookies here today? My husband would really like some. The woman on duty at the baked goods table answered me with a smile on her voice. "We have several trays. Would you like one?" "No, I would like 2 trays. My husband would eat 1 tray with a cup of tea." The woman laughed and got the chocolate chip cookies for me. "Would you like anything else?" "Do you have shortbread cookies? That's my favorite." This is your lucky day. We have shortbreads, and Betty McIntosh made them, and she is as Scottish as Glenfiddich. Would you like some of them as well? Greed assaulted me at this point, and I bought 3 trays of what smelled like sweet, buttery, melt in your mouth treats. I knew only too well that Ralph would want my shortbreads too. Needless to say, the lady at the table quickly added the 3 shortbread packages to my purchases and told me that her name was Margaret. No doubt Margaret recognized an eager customer when she had one and didn't want to let me get away quite yet. There's still lots of room in your backpack. Is there anything else that I can help you with? So many wonderful smells, and Hickory was content to stand at my side and sniff, so I gave her question some serious consideration. I had casually promised a pie for dinner, and there were plenty to choose from here. Do you have coconut cream? I do. Linda brought it in an hour ago. She made it early this morning, so you can be sure that it's fresh. I was having a lucky day, and with all these bribes, I just might be able to coax Ralph into a good humor. I bought the pie. With my backpack bulging with goodies, we made our way along to the next line of tables. This was a conglomeration of china, glassware, appliances, books, and everything or anything you could imagine. I also realized that I could walk around these tables time after time and still not see half of it. It was then that Hickory's leash gave me a sharp tug as my dog scuttled under the closest table, then backed out again, pulling something behind her. "Oh, Florence, just look at this!" A laughing, portly woman was pointing at Hickory. Her friend, probably Florence, was putting more things out on the table and added her own chuckles to the mix. My dog was providing amusement to everyone around, and as usual, I felt bewildered, not to mention embarrassed. I couldn't tell what she was yanking out from under the table, but it seemed to be putting up quite a fight. "Hickory, no, leave it!" She ceased her tugging and gazed at me with some annoyance. Plain to see that she found me a complete nuisance, but at least she had stopped her misbehaving. Really, she does know better, but at that time she didn't care a bit. Florence explained that my dog had found the brown bear under the table. "It is a huge bear, but your dog wants it anyway." I reached under the table and managed to untangle the world's biggest and most cuddly bear. No wonder Hick wanted it. But did I? Not on this planet I didn't. That is certainly a magnificent teddy bear. Some little kid will love it forever. I think your dog would love it forever. Florence seemed intent on making her point. Don't you agree, Mildred? Mildred was trying her best not to laugh, but wasn't having much success. At last she managed to gasp, "Oh, I can tell that your dog loves that bear already. You better take it for her." I already spent my fortune at the bake table. I couldn't afford that beautiful bear. I regret that Hickory will have to go without it. At this point, I gave Hickory the forward command, but Florence was not ready to capitulate. "There's no price on the bear. We were told to send it to a good home, and Hickory will take good care of it. The bear now belongs to your beautiful dog. We wouldn't want to disappoint her. Actually, I would very much enjoy doing just that. How would I get it home?" "Thank you so much. I haven't seen everything yet. Will you keep the bear until we're ready to leave? It's a bit large to lug around." Mildred and Florence agreed to hold on to the bear until we were ready to go. I began to form my plan. This nearly new table was crowded with shoppers. It would be easy to leave the hall and trust the bear with the good ladies. This solution would work, and some little kid would just adore having the giant teddy. We checked out the sewing and knitting table and wandered over to a grouping of card tables. I was welcomed by a woman no taller than I was. "Hi, I'm Barb. Would you like to sit down for a cup of coffee? We also have pie to go with it." Barb's idea held a lot of appeal. If I stayed away from the nearly new table long enough, Florence and Mildred would forget all about Hickory and the bear. "That sounds too delicious to turn down. A cup of coffee would be appreciated. What kinds of pie are you selling?" Barb eagerly replied, "Apple, blueberry, and lemon. I haven't eaten a good slice of lemon pie in months. I hoped that it would be a big piece." Barb brought me my coffee that was steaming hot, then returned with a generous piece of lemon pie. Its meringue was piled to Everest height and crested over the entire slice of pie. That has to be a 4-egg white meringue. I couldn't wait to dig in my fork. Hickory was insistent on meeting Barb. She had visions of a slice of pie for herself as well. I introduced Barb to my dog and noted that Barb did not ask me if Hickory would bite. This fact weighed highly in Barb's favor, and the slice of lemon pie she brought me gave her full marks in my book. Barb and I talked about Hickory, then about dogs in general. I was sorry when someone else came along. I would have liked to know Barb better. The last bite of pie was gone, and my third cup of coffee was empty. It was time to go home. Surely enough time had passed so that I could sneak out quietly, leaving Super Bear behind. We retreated inconspicuously to the door when this loud voice called from behind me, "Hickory, don't forget your bear. He's here waiting for you." That's all it took. I was stuck and Hickory was pleased. We picked Bear up and located the door again. We met a gentleman coming in. "Oh, I see you bought that enormous stuffy. It's as tall as you are. What are you going to do with it?" "It belongs to my dog Hickory. Whatever Hickory wants, Hickory gets." I was feeling more and more embarrassed by the minute. "That's bad news. I told Mildred and Florence that if they could sell that oversized dust bunny, I would buy them lunch. They're waiting with big appetites and will announce to everyone how the minister bought them lunch." "It's good to know you're a man who keeps his promises." I hefted the bear over my shoulder, relieved that it wasn't any heavier. It better not dine on my goodies. Hickory took me to the bus stop, where we waited for the bus that would take us back home to Meriton. This day wasn't getting any warmer, so both Hickory and I were glad when the bus stopped to pick us up. The driver wished us a good morning and then eyed the bear over my shoulder. "You should pay a fare for that king-sized Yogi Bear. It will need 2 seats just to be comfortable. What are you going to do with that?" "It's not mine. Hickory got it at the bazaar. I don't have a clue why she wants it." "Oh, well, if it belongs to Hickory, that's a different story. Yogi is our honored guest." I thought he was spreading it a bit thick. But Hickory wagged that happy tail and found all three of us a seat. Now I was extra relieved that I had a backpack full of cookies and a delicious pie. There would be a lot of appeasing to keep Ralph happy when he saw Yogi at the door. During our trip home, the scenarios I imagined kept getting worse. He would no doubt remain thoroughly aggravated until he got all the goodies. I could fantasize not getting even one shortbread. Hickory and I came quietly into the house. Like me, Hickory has learned that it is better to reconnoiter before we announce our presence. Ralph was not anywhere in the vicinity. Hick quickly checked out the bedroom where she found Ralph having a nap. Man, that was lucky. I set the bear down in the family room and put the sweet treats away, except for the chocolate chip cookies that went into the cookie jar. My guardian angel was on my side today. Ralph would take months to notice the bear in the family room, and he would devour the chocolate chip cookies with great enjoyment. The pie at dinner would seal the deal, and my husband would be sweet-tempered for days. Sometimes things really go right. Hickory lay stretched out on Yogi in the family room. It made a perfect-sized mattress for my girl. No doubt this had been her reason for wanting it in the first place. It cost me a tidal wave of embarrassment, but it was worth it. No one ever looked more cozy than my Hickory did, snoozing on her Yogi on the day everything went right.